John Frost looked on the gathered crowd, now 3,000 strong. With heavy heart, his voice rang loud as he sang this loveless song. God is a guide from field, from wave, from plough, from anvil, and from loom. We come our country's rights to save and speak a tyrant faction's doom. We raise the watchword liberty. We will be free. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order. And bobbies took an oath to be our nation's warders, swearing that they would enforce Sir Robert's Rules of Order. To Newport rose a million friends who rallied each supporter to join this flood of working men against Robert's Rules of Order. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order. Like this, on the steps of Parliament, John Frost stood proud and tall. A hush fell on this great event as he told them one and all, depose the gentry and the crown, depose the House of Lords, or join the Queen in exile by Robert's Rules of Order. So Chartists, Luddites, Communists, recall each faithful martyr who died so you could have your new world Robert's Rules of Order. Say it loud, vote your favor, shout it high. All in favor, you say aye. Favor, aye, favor, aye. A mandate of the people's cry. Favor, aye, favor, aye. Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed, you say nay. Opposed, opposed. The motion carries anyway. Currents change and bring to us our dear corrupted warder. In chains subdued and ill-abused, he's left with no supporters. Mobility's will can then proceed by our own rules of order, and we'll all cheer for country's sake when Robert's drawn in quarter. For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament shall be reborn with Robert's Rules of Order.
Okay, our mics are, yes, let me hear if yours is on.
What?
Okay, I hope everyone could hear you, because we haven't done this in a while. Plus, I want to try something here. Hold on. I know this is me again. I know it's me again, but I've got a Lucy cam set up. So I want to see.
Well,
there she is.
There she is.
So she just Lucy, want to look up?
Just chilling.
Yeah, she's a total cutie pie.
The problem is that on this screen, the Lucy camera is about the size of a quarter.
I know. Yeah, it's tiny. It's tiny here too. But I can, if she starts doing something cute, we can put her up there. But she's right there. She's a sweetheart. Okay, so you have our question for today. It's probably not going to be a terribly long show. As I said, I'm a little bit under the weather. Coming down with something probably.
I do have it in front of me. I had to go refresh my memory because it's been a while. So this directly ties in to the National Bylaws Committee in its own way.
Oh, really? Well,
but it's about the structure of the committee, not personalities or anything going on with it.
Oh, no, I know. It just so everyone knows, like, just because they're used to me, like, really being, like, abreast of what's going on. Bada bing. I just came. Well, my jacket's here. I didn't go to work like bear shit. But it's too warm for down here. But anyway, as you can tell, with my hair being up and everything, I just came from work because I walk in the door.
This curl. This is because of the humidity down here. I'm getting more curl and Frida from peanuts.
So, as I said, normally I keep abreast of everything, but I literally have noped out of nearly everything to do with the LP, except for dipping my toe in here or there, and then being like, yeah, peace out again. So, and I have to tell you, it's been lovely because I could really limit my exposure. It's not necessary. It's, I'm in.
It's the word you're looking for is liberating. Yes.
Yeah, and it's not that. I mean, I enjoyed what I did before, but it was time for a break. And as again, I'm enjoying the new dog, and that's really what I want to do right now, and some other things. And I hate it, but I have to learn some legal AI, so I've been doing educational stuff, which really hasn't been Robert's. So I'm going to be somewhat rusty, because if I don't practice something all the time, I kind of lose it. And I've been really focusing on learning other stuff, technology.
I know. I hear you. I've learned more about learn and relearn more about Linux system administration stuff in the past 3 weeks than I have in 30 years. So
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Although you got to repaint this weekend.
I was supposed to do it, I don't know, earlier this week, but here's going to be some more TMI, and then we'll get started. I have, it's a pilar cyst. They're benign,
Yeah.
and they take forever to grow, that I've had since I was a teenager. Well, it's finally at a size that I got to get it gone because it's annoying me. And that's tomorrow. So I don't want to make my scalp sensitive with bleach and dye and all of that. So I have to wait till I get that, and then I'm going to have to wait for it to heal, because
Fun.
yeah, so my hair is going to be pretty grody for a while, unless I just do color and leave the roots, which might be okay. But you don't want to put bleach on an open. I mean, because my scalp is angry. It's an angry.
That'll dork it up pretty bad. So
okay. So now, what's the title of what we're doing? What, reconsideration? Well, no, amendment of a committee's recommendations or something like that.
Hold on.
What did I say in the title? I have it on my desk here. I forgot what I called this show, because I did this graphic when we were revision of committee recommendations. Okay, that's what we called it.
There we go.
We're going to go with that.
I have in my not nicotine stained hands here the question. So here, this sort of came out of national parliamentarian issue in the spring of this year, but it's been kind of tweaked to go towards the LP bylaws committee because of our weird composition. Actually, was the bylaws committee? Well, okay, yeah. Okay, here, I'm just going to read this off. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll apply it to a bunch of stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay, question. Our organization has numerous substantive, special, and standing committees, but we do not have any resolutions committees in our structure, RONR 12, 59, 67 to 83. The Standing Bylaws Committee, which consists of both delegates and ordinary members, has submitted a recommendation for approval at the convention. After reviewing the recommendation at the beginning of the convention, the organization's leadership has a number of revisions they would like incorporated into the proposal. They have discussed these revisions with the committee chair. Okay, this is not LP, sorry. And he suggested further modifications and compromises, which the leadership agreed to. The committee cannot meet on short notice to approve the final, in quotes, version, because all the members are scattered about the country, as they are not all delegates. The committee chair circulated a proposed revised, quotes, recommendation to the committee by email and gave members 2 days to respond with comments. He did not call for a virtual committee meeting, but a slim majority of those who responded said that the revised petition version was all right. That is insufficient to present the revised version as the committee's recommendation. The Bylaws Committee Chair wants to move the revised recommendation as the committee's recommendation on the floor. A member of the committee who is opposed to some of the revisions is opposed. Robert's 12th is the parliamentary authority.
Okay, that was complicated.
Okay, to resum it, the committee had a proposal. It went through the board. The board had some suggestions to revise it, to kick it back to the committee, but the committee couldn't meet because it was too late in the game. But some members of the committee liked the idea, but they can't present that from the floor because of so late in the game. So the question was, what do you do? Everybody
Okay.
clear? Good.
Yeah, but there's some things like like always in these questions that there's presumptions. So it doesn't. It seemed like the problem was that the committee couldn't meet. However, be it by an email ballot, because we don't know what their rules are about email ballots, or virtually, they couldn't meet to approve it. It doesn't
Yeah.
seem like notice was an issue. Like the bylaws committee had to give 30 days notice to the membership. No,
Right.
notice is nowhere mentioned in here, so we're not
Right.
bringing it in. We're going to assume it's like the LP, where the bylaws committee does not need to give previous notice, which is batshit, but it's the way it is. So just wanted to clear that
This
up.
is
with
also
people.
this is also not a parliamentary exam question either. It could be, but it's not.
Yeah, it came from one of the magazines,
One of the
correct?
news. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
I've got a little
This-
stockpile of them. I haven't read them.
I skim them when they come in, but not if something gets my attention, then I go through it more closely. But a lot of it's nap housekeeping stuff I don't care about. So
Well, and they got their convention. Is it this upcoming weekend?
it's coming up. It's coming pretty quick here. Yeah.
I just
But anyway,
you did this to me last time. You tried calling me in the middle of a show. I know this
I
person
didn't
doesn't know
realize that you were still in the
I'm
show.
in a show, but I'm not going to answer that. That's not important. I'm going to answer it, but it's not urgent. That's what I was trying to say.
I'll
Okay.
call you back later. Okay, so here's what the answer was. Okay, answer. The revised motion cannot be moved by the committee chair as the committee's recommended resolution, Roberts 51-2, because the committee was unable to meet to approve the revised recommendation. Okay. Instead, the committee chair moves the adoption of the original committee recommendation, 51-8 and 51-11, and then is recognized as the first to speak on the motion, 42-9-1A. But the committee chair cannot move to amend if the amendment is averse to the original recommendation, 43-25. But the committee chair can advise the convention of the revision and its status. Then a different committee member who favors the revision can be recognized as an against speaker, 42-9-3, and can move to amend with the revision by substitution if desired. So what they're saying there is that, yeah, you can't move it from the committee, but you can coordinate to have somebody else move it as a substitute or an amendment,
And what
which makes sense in some ways.
it does. So what I think I was looking up some of the things. There's some really interesting stuff to go over. Is what people we're going to frame it in the context of the LP because that's what most of our audience is familiar with. But it could be any convention. So the bylaws chair moves something. What a lot of people don't understand is that members of the committee. So even though the maker of a motion can't speak against their own motion, that was the 43-25 that they're making. Though I question whether that applies to a committee motion. But because it says can't speak against his own motion, but it's really not the chair's motion. The chair moves it on behalf of the committee. So I think that's kind of like a gray area, maybe somewhere else that deals with it, but let's just take that as a given.
Okay, they started at 51-2 here. Okay, when they say the revised motion cannot be moved by the committee chair as the committee's recommended resolution because the committee is able to meet to approve the revision. Here's what 51-2 says. General considerations affecting board and committee reports. 51-2, limitation of report content to what has been properly agreed to. Just goes up. Hello?
Hello, I can hear you.
I'm a little fuzzy and okay, I'm a little fuzzy. Except as noted in this paragraph, a report of a board or committee can contain only what has been agreed to by a majority vote at a regular or properly called meeting of which every member has been notified, or an adjournment of one of those meetings, where a quorum of the board or committee was present. A presentation of facts or recommendations made merely upon separate consultation with every member of a board must be described thus to the parent assembly and not as an official report of the board. See also 4916. In the case of a committee, however, if it is impractical to bring its members together for a meeting, the report of the committee can contain what has been agreed.
Okay, let's see if this works.
Hello.
Okay, let's see. So keep going.
Just time. What did you hear last?
I don't remember because what I was doing was running an internet speed test in the background to make sure it wasn't on my end, and it's not. So that glitchiness was happening on your end. So the last thing I heard is you were starting the sentence, in the case of a committee, if it is impractical. That's the last thing I heard.
Okay. That's the last sentence of 51.2. Okay, I'll reread that. In the case of a committee, however, if it is impractical to bring its members together for a meeting, the report of the committee can contain what has been agreed to by every one of its members.
So that answered, though, a question. And actually, I wanted to continue on the thought from before. That answered a question. We don't even need to... the email thing, this group does not have email ballots. But
right.
This agreed to... in this last sentence, it's really interesting because it's an agreement outside the meeting. So even though, from the context of this question, this group doesn't have email ballots, if everyone agreed by email, that's effectively a unanimous consent. It's actually unanimous. So that's kind of like a backdoor around not having email ballot provision. So I thought that was really interesting. But what I was saying before is what people I don't think understand sometimes, is that committee members can, from the floor, they're just like any other member. And I think you're glitching again.
Really?
There's a real big delay.
I'm not freezing up, at least.
Yeah. Okay, so committee members from the floor can move to amend, speak against, or do any of that sort of thing. And a lot of people don't realize that, because going back to the LP, we had talked about this before, where there's no guaranteed right of a minority report for bylaws. A minority member can get up and speak against and do that amendment from the floor.
Exactly. So, and that's kind of where the answer was going with that too. When you read the question, well, why don't they just amend it from the floor when they get there, which is what they're saying can be done here. So, just coordinate it with somebody to help get it taken care of in the proper way. So, there you have it.
Yeah, but if there was a notice requirement, then because this was kind of quick, let's just delve into that a little bit. If there was a notice requirement, a lot would depend upon whether those amendments were in scope of notice, because if they weren't, it can't be moved from the floor.
Interesting. Yeah, that's true, because that wouldn't be, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's
germane to the original. Yeah.
Are you about to fall asleep?
I'm tired. I've had several weeks of just downright insanity. I sprained my collarbone about a month and a half ago.
You sprained what?
Just my collarbone.
How do you sprain your collarbone? I've never heard of such a thing.
I didn't either until it happened. We were lifting a small bore engine into the back of my truck, and I say we, all three of us were, and right here, where the collarbone connects to the sternum, it just went pop, and it's like, what the heck? And now, ever since then, I just spent about a month wearing a freaking sling to help try to help it heal up, and it still pops in and out periodically, and it just drives me up the freaking wall. But it's made for some very stressful times, tight neck and shoulders, and not good sleeping for the past several weeks. So
Oh,
I'm still in the
man.
back end of
I
that.
never even heard of that
I didn't know
happening.
it could happen either until it did. Because I'm like, ow, what just happened?
So was there anything else in the section? Didn't you mention 49 something?
It said that okay, the committee chair moves the adoption of the original committee recommendation, and then is recognized the first to speak on the motion. That was 42-9.
Oh, okay, 42-9.
1A, yeah.
Okay, I'm just seeing if there's anything else interesting here. Well,
Let's
yeah,
see.
it's just saying that basically the chair or whoever's doing the report
Right.
speaks first. Okay, got it.
And then the committee chair cannot move to amend if the amendment is adverse to the original recommendation. That's 4325.
Yep.
And then, but the committee chair can advise the convention of the revision and its status. Saying, oh, yeah, this does exist. This has been discussed, yeah. Then a different committee member who favors the revisions can recognize as an against speaker because you alternate. That's the 4293.
Okay.
Can move to amend with the revision by substitution. So that's basically saying here's how you would make the adjustment.
So in 4325, I like this sentence because I always dream up these scenarios. So it says, in debate, the maker of a motion, while he can vote against it, is not allowed to speak against his own motion. He need not speak at all, but if he does, he's obliged to take a favorable position. But this is where I'm just picturing this thing in my head. If he changes his mind while the motion he made is pending, he can, in effect, advise the assembly of this by asking permission to withdraw the motion. So here's the mental picture I got.
How the hell do you do that if you're a committee?
But I'm just, in general, well, I think, right, because the committee didn't agree to withdraw. But I'm just picturing this in my head, even though you can't, I think you're correct that isn't allowed. But imagine being in front of the convention, you're the bylaws committee chair, and you're making debate, but mid-debate, you realize, oh my God, this is
this
wait,
really
what?
sucks.
This is stupid. Oh, I just saw Fatal Flamme be like, blah, blah, blah. Whoa, wait, can I withdraw this?
and I've seen and been through that at a California convention many years ago, where a proposal was made, and I was in favor of it initially. I was on the floor at the time, and as the arguments went along back and forth, I changed my mind. I realized, no, wait, there's a legitimate point of what they're saying here. I'm actually against this now. But it wasn't. But that was on the floor. That wasn't actually up on the podium. So,
well, but and that's why it's that means it was procedure and stuff was successful. If people's minds were actually changed by debate. Unfortunately, and I'll say it now, I don't give a crap. Unfortunately now, with the cult-like mentality of the Mises Caucus, there wasn't any, nobody was going to change their mind because they're going to do what the masters told them. But I remember pre-Mises, the way people's minds were actually changed in debate on the floor. For instance, if we go back to 2016, if you remember, the platform committee, coming out of the platform committee was a death penalty plank proposal, and it was so convoluted and consequentialist. And I remember Aaron Starr. Oh my God, I forgot about him and me getting in a shouting match. Now I know now that that's completely indecorous, but I was brand new, and we were, there's two lanes. We were at that back mic. And he's like, I was saying something. He's like, you're out of order. I'm like, no. He said I was dilatory. I'm like, no, you're dilatory. We were the yelling
I remember
at each
that.
other.
I remember that.
Oh,
and eventually what wound up happening was the whole thing got whittled down to one sentence, which passed. And it's still there.
Right.
Now.
Right, because it was at first people were like, oh, whatever, and I think people who were originally in favor of it, after hearing debate, was like, yeah, this is clunky and not good, and it was Whitney Bilyeu who whittled it down to one sentence and got it to pass. But I forgot about that shouting match with Aaron Starr at the back of the room. I didn't know anything then, so that would have been like. It must not have been heard from the podium because Nick would have put a stop to that if he heard it from. But we were kind of in the back.
Reminds us of the Colorado Springs massacre, doesn't it?
What, you yelling at me?
Yeah. us screaming at each other like a couple of bull bighorn sheep smashing horns together.
But the best part of that convention. So Jeff Orrick was kind of unofficially parliamentarian because he knew like more than anyone else did. I'm not saying necessarily you probably knew just as much back then. I didn't know shit.
I didn't know much back then.
Okay. But so he was kind of at that table over to the side, just minding his own business. Then Nathan Grabow was like, "Move to suspend the bylaws," and Jeff Orrick was like,
"Yeah." He looked at like, what the hell are you saying?
Come on, that was a good Jeff Orrick impression. You got it with the way he's. Really? And speaking of Jeff, I wonder if his ears are tingling now. Maybe you don't remember. So that's the convention where that guy was like menacing me for carrying a Daryl Perry sign. I had to climb up on that chair to get away from him, and he like stuck the sign and hit me in the face with it. And yeah, so Jeff was the only, Colorado's table was right there, and he was the only one like that was right in front. And Jeff was like watching this happen right in front of him, and the guy that was menacing me was big. Okay, and here's Jeff going, "Oh my God, I'm gonna have to fly over this table right now and take care of this situation, and I'm gonna die."
Yeah, I wasn't at the 2016 convention. I only heard the stories afterwards.
Yeah, but no, Jeff was ready to, you got to give it up to him.
That one wasn't in Orlando. That was in Columbus, wasn't it?
No, it was Orlando. It was at the first Orlando at the Rosin Center, the original Rosin Center, not where 2020 ended up being, which was also owned by Rosin, but it was a different place.
Okay. Yeah, 2020 I was at. 2016 I wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was good times.
So the short form of all that was coordinated amendment from the floor.
Yes. But with plot, well, we don't even want to just get into LP stuff. That was the basic Roberts stuff. So now that we're like kind of back in the saddle, yeehaw, we'll plan these periodically. You sent me another question, which I'm sure you completely forgot, and it's in a different email box. Yeah, this was the one sent to my main email, but you sent one to Pink Flame of Liberty, I think, too, that said good show question. So I'll get with you on that. We'll take a look at whether it's good or not. Not saying that you'd send something crappy, but sometimes the question is good at the time because of just stuff that's going on. But like 3 months later, you're like, nah, that's boring. We're going to... On second thought, nah. All right. And unless any...
Here it was. Good show
you found it?
For call April 16th. Yes.
Was it, what, to Pink Flame of Liberty?
That's the same one. That's the same one. Wait a minute.
Oh, did you send it to both emails? Because I saved it. Hold on. Let me pull it up. This says this says Cult of RONR show idea? Question mark.
Okay. Yeah, that
July
was
7th.
Yeah, this topic was from April. Wow.
Oh, it's talking about standing rules and stuff like that. That will be a good topic.
Yeah.
And that will be much more complex.
In the weeds.
So, I'm trying to think. Well, we'll talk offline about when we could do another one. My Sundays have well, your Sundays are weird too because you've got bylaws committee meeting, and a lot of times, yeah, I've been having guests, and a lot of times their only availability is Sunday, and there's going to have to be a show that you do not watch because Kyle Davis and I are going to be talking about the pending JC appeal. So you're going to have to skedaddle from that one. Sure, how much we'll get into it, considering my peace out letter today, but we're going to get into it at least a little bit to inform members about what's going on.
And by the way, the meeting notice for that appeal hearing is up on Elpedia now. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw that Stefan had put that up. And I guess that's it, unless we have anything else to cover or anyone in questions here.
Well, someone said you look like a meerkat when you.
Yeah, when I was doing Jeff. All right. So I guess that will be. Cam. Oh yeah, let me figure out how to do that. Oh, she's just sleeping, but let me see if I could get her to, because you guys got to see how cute she is. Lucy, come here. Oh, look at that face. Are you gonna let me pick you up? Am I gonna get bit on camera? Oh, this is the first time she let me pick her up. Look at that face.
Aw.
She's the cutest. Beautiful. But she always does look like she's judging you. She's like,
I'm like, totally, yeah, she has a total nonplussed look on her face. And
I'm like, Lucy is in fact judging you. But she is she is the sweetest thing. And she follows me around like a shadow.
Oh, she's bonded to you, no doubt.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've only had her we picked her up Monday.
Yeah, and this is Thursday, so.
Yeah. Okay, you can go back. You can go back to your little bed. All right, you're a good girl. Look at that face. Oh my goodness. Yes, you're so cute. Now you want to, oh my God, I think I just created a monster. No, oh my God, I wish you could see this.
Now she wants to come up?
Yeah, now she wants to come up on my lap. So this might be, oh, big yawn.
I think she finally realized it's okay.
Yeah. All right, everyone. So I guess that will be it. I need to go eat dinner. Because again, I did just get back from work.
Look at you. I'm on a fast because I got some lab work to do tomorrow. So.
All right, let me turn off the Lucy cam, and I'll position this a little better next time. She was all wigged out, and I had my cables all over the place. All right, everyone, I am going to do the closing thing, and I'll talk to you soon.
See y'all later.
All right. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray, all opposed? You say nay, opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.